What's the Avant song of Separated and shit? You know what I mean? When we're together. You know what I mean? Like,
this is Mike 3.
okay, 3. Yeah, oh no, it was funny. I'm talking about hilarious.
Oh, man, that's crazy.
Like, the whole situation's crazy, but you gotta see the video, man.
I'll check it out, man.
I can't believe you didn't see it, man.
Dude, I was at work all day. I ain't talking to
No, this was a few days ago. This is like last week.
Oh, all right.
I'm talking about super viral, super viral.
Brigade is proud to join Radio Phoenix with our blend of acoustic music,
like
puzzles, interviews.
Jeannie Buss like leaned on him and like put her head on his shoulder. The other chick was rubbing on his arm.
They should have played Tony.
Right. You know what I mean? It was like that. And they said, oh yeah, he gonna be sleeping on the couch tonight.
He probably got a million couches, but he probably got a second home. He ain't worried about that.
Right.
They probably got it sent to the house.
Hey, you gonna sleep on the West End today?
Yeah, pretty much. It ain't like it's us. Where you gonna be like, oh, you got
right. Exactly.
The number 2, KRDP.com, a service of Desert
Oh
Soul
man, that's crazy.
Yeah, you
are
gotta
those
see
of the
it,
speakers
man. It's hilarious.
and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of Desert Soul Media and its board of directors.
Did you link this?
Thank you for listening.
That's me.
All right, y'all. NFL free agency is strictly bananas. Saquon Barkley to the Philadelphia
You talking about with yours?
Derrick Henry to the Baltimore Ravens. Kirk Cousins to the Atlanta Falcons. I really need Kirk Cousins' agent's number. That dude be getting that brother some money. Anthony Joshua would possibly the knockout of the year against Ngannou. And we're going to talk about Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul. NCAA basketball has a new scoring champion in Caitlin Clark. Louisiana State University versus South Carolina University SEC championship was off the chain. They had a little scuffle. We're going to talk about that. And does anybody at all care about the men's game today? Can you name me a male player? Don't worry about it. I'll wait.
We kind of
and while I'm
changed
waiting,
it.
we be looking up some NBA news,
because of
scores,
because the
and
music.
more on the Keep It 1 Million show.
The podcast, so that you can't have the music we had on there. So I had to change all of now to this for like a minute. Okay. And then
This is DW News, and these
we're
are our
gonna
top
play
stories.
this. I guess this and
The
this.
US House of Representatives has approved a bill that could lead to a ban
all the
on
beats
social
that I
media
gave you,
platform
I
TikTok.
I have them on
The bill
here.
could force
Okay,
TikTok
good.
to raise the
Yeah,
audience
yeah, but I had to
platform
change. I had
or face
ones I
having
had,
it
I had to
removed
take
from
those out.
US
Yeah.
app stores.
You know what I mean?
That's why I
Legislation
asked for.
goes to
That's
the
why I
US
made the
Senate,
original
where it
beat because
faces
we wanted
an
the podcast.
uncertain
If you could play
future.
that.
Yeah, exactly.
EU lawmakers have approved the world's first legal framework on artificial intelligence. It aims to guarantee the safety and reliability of AI while fostering its development. It's seen as a precedent for countries struggling to control the risks of AI's rapid advancement. The World Food Programme says it has delivered enough food for 25,000 people in northern Gaza Strip. It came convoy of 6 UN aid trucks allowed to enter Gaza through a new road crossing. It's part of a pilot scheme put forward by Israeli forces. The UN agency says it's their first shipment to the area in over 3 weeks. You're watching DW News from Berlin. You can find much more news on our website. That's dw.com.
And we're back to Keep It 1 Million show. I'm Dwayne.
Sean P.
There you go. Yeah, say it again.
Sean P.
All right, we can hear you now. And it is the 14th of March, 2024. Spring is here. And my allergies are kicking my butt.
Yeah, mine are
So-
too.
But NFL free agency is
Upon us.
live, day 4 of NFL free
Yeah, day
agency,
4. Mhm.
and I think this is really one of the biggest NFL free agencies I've seen in recent memory. So many big names have moved.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking Kirk Cousins, Baker Mayfield. Well, no, Baker Mayfield stayed.
No, he just signed that contract.
Russell Wilson, Gardner Minshew,
Mhm.
Jacoby Brissett, Sam Darnold, Mitchell Trubisky, Marcus Mariota,
Mhm.
Tyrod Taylor, Jameis Winston,
Oh yeah, I forgot about
Joe
him.
Flacco.
Yeah.
You also have some bigger names: Saquon Barkley,
Yeah.
Derrick Henry,
Yeah.
and
Josh Jacobs.
Josh Jacobs. A lot of running backs
Mm-hmm.
have moved. Remember before last season, that big meeting
Yeah.
that the running backs had, their big, Zoom meeting they had to talk about their contracts and possibly, holding out and this, that, and the third, and everyone got franchise tagged. So Josh Jacobs gets $48 million for the Packers. Saquon Barkley gets $37 million to the Eagles.
Mhm.
Tony Pollard gets $24 million to the Titans.
Yeah.
DeAndre Swift gets $24 million to the Bears.
Mm-hmm.
And the big one is Derrick Henry signs a 2-year, $16 million deal with the Ravens.
Mm-hmm.
Sean, what do you think in the running back situation is the biggest, not just the biggest deal, but the biggest impact can be next season?
Oh, this is tough. This is tough because you want to say Derrick Henry with Baltimore. That's what you want to say because Derrick Henry, he can get you those yards. You know how they will run Lamar Jackson on third down. Well,
Right.
They can get that thing to Derrick Henry. And he
Derrick
boom
Henry now, right.
downhill. So you want to say that, but then you could also say you want to say Saquon Barkley with the Eagles because what that does is it gives them another weapon. When you got Devonta Smith and AJ Brown on the outside, you got Dallas Goedert, and Jalen Hurts.
Right.
But now you have Saquon Barkley who could run behind that great Eagles offensive line. He can run behind that, and also he can catch out of the backfield. Now he's no Christian McCaffrey, but he can still catch out of the backfield. I mean, I've seen him run those. He come out the backfield and run those deep. Not to the flat, but when you come out to the flat and come across the middle
Yes.
and run those. I mean, he runs those seamlessly. So it's hard to say. It really is hard to say, but I'm gonna go with Derrick Henry because Derrick Henry has proven to be more durable than Saquon Barkley. I'm an Eagles fan, but that bothers me about Saquon Barkley that he only played one full season. That was his rookie season, and he missed the whole season, I believe, to a knee injury. And so
he was injured this past season as
and
well.
he was injured. I think he missed like 4 games.
Yeah.
So now they will do it by committee because they still got. I believe they still have Gainwell and Boston Scott. They let Swift go to Chicago. So we'll see. We'll see.
And the thing is, I'm a Giants fan.
Mhm.
You're an Eagles fan.
Yeah.
That rivalry is huge. But my thing is, people are really upset about the Saquon Barkley situation. And the thing is, the Giants didn't want to pay him. Saquon wanted to stay. He was a class act as a Giant. Say he was great in the locker room, everything, a leader, a captain on that team. And people are upset that he left. It's like, well, he didn't want to be franchised. The Giants didn't want to franchise tag him again for $12 million. And also, Joe Shane, the general manager, doesn't see running backs as a premium. He sees defensive line as a premium, offensive line as a premium. Running back can be switched out like a pair of sneakers. Unfortunately, Saquon being the guy that he is, it's difficult. You know what I'm saying? He was great when he played, but yeah, injuries is important. Availability is, you know what I mean? What they say, your best ability is your availability,
Yeah.
right? So when you see them bringing in Singletary from Houston, who's durable, he's younger, he's durable, he's not Saquon at all. He's not going to be that game breaker, but they add another, running back in the draft or whatnot later on. You have running back by committee like the Eagles as well. But for people to be mad at Saquon, it's like, man, the numbers, there's no, what they say, the math wasn't mathing. The numbers, now did the Eagles overpay? Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
But at the same time, if you look at the whole running back situation in the NFL as a whole, they really didn't get more than what they expected, right? Yeah, they got 3-year deals, but it was still on par with the franchise tag, $12 million, $16 million. Me personally, I think Derrick Henry, it will be a bigger impact as because of the Ravens were already the number one rushing attack in the league, right? You do have injuries on that side of the ball as well. Coming into the playoffs, they had their running back core was decimated throughout the season. You bring Derrick Henry, who is durable, who is a downhill runner. He does sometimes catch out the backfield. He blocks extremely well.
Yeah, he does.
So that's another blocker for Lamar Jackson.
Hey,
This is excellent for them because what you've seen in the playoffs is something they was missing was a downhill running game, so that you don't have Lamar Jackson doing too much. And at the game against San Francisco, he was doing too much. He didn't have no one to pitch to the back. You know what I mean? Fumbles, the interceptions, that was him doing too much. Now you have someone who could alleviate that.
Yeah. Speaking of blocking, is it Saquon? I know he's not as good as Derrick Henry. Is he a pretty good blocker?
He is.
I know he's not Derrick Henry because he doesn't have the size.
But the thing is, the Giants were using him on those as another receiver
Mhm.
because of the Giants didn't have that many receivers. So on 3rd down, 4th down, he's going to come up the middle and be right there in the middle, turn around, waiting for that for that catch for the 1st down. But with the Eagles, I think he would be a blocker, on those situations because you do have A.J. Brown, you do have those receivers. He had a plethora of weapons, way more than the Giants did. So yeah, this will be a great upgrade. I think his role will change a little bit, but he's still going to be the feature back.
Oh yeah, he's going to be the future back. I just need to. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not completely sold on that Saquon deal because I just never. He only had one full complete season, and his durability is in question. That's
Right.
all.
I get it. I understand 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Now moving to the quarterbacks, Kirk Cousins, huge
Yeah.
deal with the Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah, that's
$100 million guaranteed, $180 million contract. Like you said on the billboard, we need his agent.
Yeah, we need his
His
agent.
agent. We've been saying this for years here on the Keep 1 Million show. His agent deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. Whatever Hall of Fame there is for agents, he deserves to be there because since Washington, 2 franchise tags, then he gets the big deal going to Minnesota because they wasn't going to franchise him again. He was a free agent. They didn't trade him. They just let him go. He gets a huge deal with Minnesota. They kind of, was almost there in the playoffs and whatnot. He doesn't do that great. He gets injured, gets the Achilles injury.
Mm-hmm.
Now he gets another massive deal with Atlanta. I didn't know that his wife was from Atlanta.
Yeah, I
his
didn't know that
kids
either.
were born in Atlanta.
Mhm.
So this is kind of a
Homecoming.
pseudo homecoming for him. Obviously, they have a house in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
They spend their off seasons there, and my question is, can he live? Not just I want to say live up to anything, but can he turn his career around and B, say a Matty Ice?
Well, he's been a solid quarterback through his career. He just never showed up in the playoffs. He only has one playoff victory his whole time in the league, and
Right.
and that's the issue with him. And I have to commend his agent because I mean he got him all that money, and then going to Atlanta, you know that we like to say happy spouse, happy house. So I know his wife is happy. They're down there with family, so it makes it a whole lot more comfortable to be
Right.
down there. And to tell you the truth, I'm not looking for them to win the Super Bowl. I'm just looking for them to. They're going to win the NFC South. They win the NFC South, and then win a playoff game. He's good.
Right,
He's
that's
good.
true.
I believe. Oh,
Go ahead.
But
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say I believe it's more pressure on Russell Wilson. Like to tell you the truth.
Right.
Yeah. Now he didn't get a big deal, but he still gets his money from Denver, and he gets the veteran
Veteran minimum. Yeah.
minimum from Pittsburgh. So Pittsburgh didn't have to spend a lot of money. Russell Wilson has to have not a great season, just have a solid. And his season last season wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad, but he needs to do better than that. And I believe it's just going to be more pressure on him because Pittsburgh is actually they've actually made it to the playoffs last year, so that's not going to be good enough. He's going to have to make it to the playoffs and get past the first round and have a good season doing it.
The thing is, I see where you're coming from, saying that Russell Wilson has the bigger pressure.
Mhm.
But the thing is, in the NFC North, they're not expected to win that.
Oh,
That's
no.
the toughest division in football.
Yeah, it is.
With the Ravens going as far as they did, the Bengals,
They were banged up.
retooling, coming back. Cleveland, they've made some moves this in free agency as well.
They did.
So I think really pressures, to me, is more on Kirk Cousins
Okay.
because how he plays is very similar to Matty Ice,
Mhm.
right? You know where that went. That went Super Bowl,
Yeah,
right?
it
Very
did.
accurate quarterback, throws down the field. You know, you have your top receivers and whatnot. They have B.J. Robinson there, great running back. Going against, if you see that division, it's very winnable. You have Baker Mayfield getting re-signed to a 3-year deal.
Mhm.
So he's there for
Yeah.
some years.
Uh-huh.
They just won a division.
They won the
No
division
one-
and the playoff game.
Right, no one thought that. Everyone thought, okay, Tom Brady's gone. This division's up for grabs. Maybe I really thought the Saints, with Derek Carr coming in, that the Saints had that in lock. But no. So I think really that battle between Atlanta and Tampa Bay is going to be huge. I think that pressure is going to be on. They're going to expect him to win that division. That division is very winnable. Russell Wilson is like, okay, we know you're just going to be here. You're a stopgap for whoever they pick up after you. You know, after you leave, they may pick another one out the draft. Pickett is not it. Trubisky is never it. You know, they've been since Roethlisberger had these horrible quarterbacks,
Mhm.
and that's the reason why they haven't been where they was. But Tomlin still keeps them going and keeps them in the playoffs with that defense, that amazing defense they have. So when it comes to the Steelers, I think really just getting Tomlin that next playoff spot is going to be their goal. That's really it.
Yeah.
Get them
That's
to the
first.
playoffs, the wild card, get them to the playoffs. And if they don't, the problem is with Russell Wilson, they'll blame him. Because the Steelers have not been, when's the last time the Steelers have not been in the playoffs?
Oh, I can't remember.
That's what I'm saying, exactly.
He's had
Tomlin's been there 17
17
years, almost
been in
20
17.
years. So early 2000s is the last time.
No, he's been to the playoffs every year. Every year he's been
Yes,
there.
yes. Since early 2000s.
Yeah.
So if it happens where they don't make it, it's all going to fall on Russell Wilson. We're going to come back.
Mhm.
We're going to talk more NFL free agency. We're going to get into some NCAA basketball. The tournament is coming up. March Madness is here.
Yes, sir.
And keep it locked right here on 90.7 FM, the Keep 1 Million Show. see with no ads. They took the ads out.
Oh, they took the ads out?
Yeah.
Oh, is this one of the beats I gave you?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
okay.
one of the beats. Song is like a minute, and then come back on.
All right.
All right, the Key 1 Million Show, KRDP 90.7 FM. Go to listen, the number 2, KRDP.com. We're also on Instagram. Oh, right. The new website. You're absolutely right. It's jazz.listen, the number 2, KRDP.com, where you can go to the Keep 1 Million page, and we're going to have some literature on there for sports coming up soon. Please follow us on YouTube, Instagram, Keep 1 Million Show, YouTube on KRDP. Thanks everybody for watching and listening. And we were talking the NFL free agency. Like I said, I think this is probably one of the biggest free agencies in recent memory. So many players have moved. But on the Philly side, Jason Kelsey and Fletcher Cox have both retired.
Yes, they both retired.
What are your thoughts on that?
Man, Jason Kelsey, anchor at that offensive line. I don't know if they're going to draft a center or not, but he's a Hall of Fame center. He might not get first ballot, but he will get into the Hall of Fame. Him and his brother, they'll get into the Hall of Fame. His brother probably be first ballot. So his brother being Travis Kelsey. So that's going to be a little bit of a hurt piece right there. Fletcher Cox, retiring, kind of saw that coming because he was longer than 2 years. He probably didn't want to have to deal with signing with a team for the veteran minimum. I mean, he just probably was like, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and hang this up, and that's respectable. Real good, solid player. And the Eagles also re-signed Brandon Graham for a 1-year deal. So this will probably be Brandon Graham's last year. And so just it's just I mean, it's good to see players go. I mean, everybody wants to go out with a chip, but they both have rings. But all 3 of those players have rings with the Eagles. But it's good to see them go out. Being able to walk away from the game.
Right. And the Patriots are moving on from Mac Jones.
Yes.
He got traded to the Jaguars for a late round pick.
6th round pick.
Is Robert Kraft just wiping the slate clean of Belichick? Because after Tom Brady, it wasn't look horrible on Belichick's moves as far as quarterback, wide receiver, and even defensively. Where do you think the Patriots go? Obviously, they're going to look to the draft for a QB. Where do you think they go?
I don't know, man. I wouldn't want to see a rookie quarterback in that system. It's just not a good thing for a rookie quarterback unless they found themselves a genius offensive coordinator, like a quarterback whisperer, like a young Andy Reid was a quarterback whisperer. Kyle Shanahan. Yeah, Kyle Shanahan with Brock Purdy all the way. Like, those coaches that are really good with quarterbacks.
Yeah.
I don't think they have that.
Well, they have Jared Mayo, who's obviously a defensive-minded coach.
Yeah. But you still can get a QB coach or an offensive coordinator that could really guide them.
Now, my question, I'm not sure who is their offensive coordinator right now because I think McDaniels is not going to be there.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a question mark for them.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of notable wide receivers, Mike Williams and Odell Beckham Jr. are going to be cut. Do you see them with what teams? If not, is this a career for them? Especially Odell Beckham.
Mike Williams, he was with the Chargers, right?
Yes.
I can see him finding a team. I don't know about Odell though, but somebody will pick them up, but it's not going to be for a big contract. And it's crazy. Is I remember Odell Beckham with those crazy catches with the Giants and those years. And you just like,
Yeah.
yo, this guy's a beast. This guy's that. I remember his rookie year because he came out of LSU. His rookie year, you just like, wow.
Yep.
And
Exactly.
and now you're just like, he does have a ring coming from
With
the
the
Rams.
Rams.
With the Rams, he has a ring right there. So you know he is a Super Bowl champion. So I don't know.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
think
know.
Mike Williams will get another gig
Yeah.
with a team. Me personally, hopefully the Giants need wide receivers.
Mm-hmm.
Although Beckham, I think it's it for him. Injuries. He was injured most of last season as well. Luckily, they gave him a shot. Remember, there's the league meeting was here in Scottsdale. He went there because he has a house here and talked to owners and GMs personally. Like that's kind of something they didn't see. They're like, oh wow. I was watching CBS Sports and they were talking about Odell Beckham's here with his agent talking, and that's how he got the Ravens job. But this now how it is after this season, since it looks like the market has gone down for especially running backs or wide receivers, I don't think there's room for him. Maybe Carolina.
Oh, that's tough. That's tough.
Maybe
overseas.
Tampa
They got a young
Bay.
quarterback there in Carolina.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, he's not gonna get the money he wants because he didn't get the money he wants in
And
the
Baltimore.
Ravens.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think the problem is with him was the injuries for one. Until he priced himself out, trying to ask for so much money.
Yeah.
Also, which I think is kind of a weird situation, Sam Darnold goes to Minnesota for a 1-year deal, $10 million.
Yeah.
What's Minnesota trying to do here? You let go Kirk Cousins. You let go Dalvin Cook.
They're about to trade Justin Jefferson.
Justin Jefferson's like on his, he's either in or out. He's like, I don't know what am I gonna do here.
They probably gonna be asking for a first and a second for him. So
man, I really think, come around draft time, he may want to get traded. Something may happen there because you got no quarterback. No disrespect to Sam Darnold, but I mean, you were backing up Brock Purdy. Now, Minnesota, because Green Bay, they've really added some pieces. Jordan Love's looking like the quarterback they want.
Yeah, he's looking like that.
Detroit is looking like they just need to stand pat. They added a couple pieces and they're contending for a Super Bowl. Chicago is in disarray. I don't know what Chicago's doing. And it looks like Vikings are in that situation too. They're in disarray. I don't understand what's going on with the Vikings.
It's pretty crazy out there. You got Chicago not figuring out what they're going to do with Justin Fields. So it looks like he's going to stay there. Like you said, Detroit's fine. I mean, they only really need to tinker with their team, but they did lose their corner. C.J. Gardner was with them, right? The Eagles picked him up, and they needed a D-back. They needed another corner. It's and some of these teams, like for example, the Dallas Cowboys, they didn't do much. They didn't do much of anything. I mean, no, we don't feel bad for them at all. So
Right.
But you would think they would have made a move. So.
One move came earlier today from Adam Schefter, ESPN. Sam Howell, quarterback for the Commanders, just traded to the Seahawks. Now the Seahawks let go of Drew Lock. Drew Lock went to the Giants.
Okay.
The Seahawks receive a 4th round pick and a 6th round pick, and Sam Howell. Commanders receive a 3rd and a 5th round pick, both in this year's draft.
So Geno still out there?
Geno Smith is still there, to my knowledge.
Okay,
but
so-
we'll see.
Okay.
I guess he's supposed to be backing up Geno Smith, but we'll see.
Yeah.
And this just happened right now.
Mm-hmm.
The Chargers are trading Keenan Allen to the Bears for a 4th round pick,
Okay.
coming from Jay Glazer out in Fox.
Oh, all right.
Now, everyone's talking about how Justin Fields may be traded or not. This makes sense that he's not being traded. Because why would you bring a star receiver to the Bears? Because everyone's talking about they're going to trade Justin Fields. They have the number 1 pick. And they're going to bring in Caleb Williams from USC. Are they still going to trade Justin Fields after that?
No, probably
I'm not sure.
Probably not. Probably. They got him a good solid receiver. Got him a good solid running back in Swift. They probably they probably gonna stand pat, and see what
Or
they got.
do they still bring in Caleb Williams and have him sit for a season or 2 seasons?
Behind Fields?
But see what Fields does, and if Fields doesn't do what he's supposed to do, they trade him mid-season. That could happen. Because really, the best time to trade him is right now.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems like they're getting pieces around him, which is weird. Because it sounds like either you're going to trade that pick, right? That number 1 pick, you're going to trade down to keep Justin Fields, or you're going to trade Justin. Maybe they trade him at the draft. They trade him and the number 1 pick, or they trade him and keep the number 1 pick and bring in. The Bears are like, I don't know what they're doing. Look at the Bears, what they have so far bringing in. They brought in Keenan Allen, DeAndre Swift, Jared Everett, the tight end. On defense, Kevin Bayard, a center, Coleman Shelton, and Jonathan Owens, a defensive back. And they have the number 1 and number 9 overall pick in the draft.
So you said they have the number 1 and 9?
Yes.
Okay.
So they're going to be doing some wheeling and dealing in the draft. A lot of wheeling and dealing. I mean, they can actually get a quarterback and another wide receiver if they want. Or offensive lineman, because there's a great offensive lineman in the draft from Notre Dame that can go 5th or 6th to the Giants or the Jets.
So you're saying that you think Chicago might use one of their picks to move up or move back?
Move back. They still have that 9th pick, so they can use that 9th pick to get what they want. Move back, get a lot more picks. Trade out of that first. Keep Justin Fields and just really build around Justin Fields, and then that'll be a make it or break it for him.
Yeah.
We gave you everything you needed: running back, wide receivers, offensive line, the defense, so you can come right back on the field and operate. And if he doesn't, obviously you're not going to get paid. You may most likely get franchised if they keep you another season. And if not, they're going to trade him. I mean, their GM is pretty smart.
Yeah, so
He's young, he's smart. So
this
we'll
is,
see what happens.
This is Fields' contract year, right?
Who's?
Justin Fields' contract year this year.
I think so.
Okay.
I think so. So, yeah, Chicago's really doing some interesting moves right now. Like I said, this is day 4 of the NFL free agency, and it's still going. Big names are still being moved as we speak with Keenan Allen.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's very very interesting there.
So some minor. I ain't gonna say minor, but lower tier free agents. I mean, Jerry Jeudy. He went to the Browns.
Right.
So that's a nice pickup for them. Deshaun Watson coming back. Flacco went to Indy.
Yes.
Yeah, Flacco went to Indy.
I think that's a good pick going behind Anthony Richardson.
Yeah.
He's going to be 100% healthy.
Joe Mixon went to the Texans.
Yeah, I wanted the Giants to pick him up.
Yeah, Joe Mixon went to the Texans. That was interesting. Texas is a good team. I mean, you saw what they did last year. With C.J. Stroud and Nico Collins, good receiver core down there. Joe Mixon, looking good for them.
And one last thing about the NFL free agency: who do you think won, and what team do you think lost?
I'm gonna say Dallas lost because I didn't hear them make any moves or anything. So I'm gonna say that. And as far as win, it was so many. I wrote down notes. It was so many good moves. I mean, the Eagles did because Hassan Reddick he wanted to seek a trade. So they picked up another edge rusher. I believe the guy from the Jets, number 47. Cannot remember his name right now. Him and they got C.J. Garner, the cornerback out of Detroit. But also Josh Jacobs to the Packers. I mean that's an upgrade. Even though I like Aaron Jones, he went to the Vikings. But Josh Jacobson, that's a big upgrade because he can catch out the backfield, everything. I mean, Baltimore picking up Derrick Henry. So I can't really say who won. I really can't because those were all good moves.
Yeah, you have the Giants, the Eagles, the Falcons.
Yeah.
All made good additions. The Commanders did okay.
Yeah.
I was just seeing called off what the Bears just did, and they looked like that. That was a pretty good free agency they did. But yeah, the loser is the Cowboys. I say the Cowboys, the Cardinals. They got Desmond Ridder for some reason.
Yeah, the Cowboys got Desmond Ridder.
No, the Cardinals.
Yeah, the Cardinals. Yeah, you're right. That's what I meant to say. Cardinals. Yes.
And it looks like really the Cowboys. I mean, they traded. I mean, no, they kept a couple players. They re-signed some players. They brought in like one linebacker of not really that notable. Yeah, and the thing is, when Jerry Jones said we're going all in, I think he meant we're going all in as far as getting big names, and it's not just we're going all in and staying what we have. So I don't know what was the disconnect there, because what are y'all doing? What is the general manager, which is his son, what are they doing? I mean, they didn't do anything. So for them losing in the playoffs, them to keep trying and saying, we them boys and we're going to win next season. Every season, the media picks them to win the Super Bowl, and it doesn't happen. Now you have, like I said, so many players, and then let go Pollard.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You have so many players, so many notable star players, Pro Bowlers, NFL first teamers, ex Super Bowl champions on the move, and you don't grab any of them. not a wide receiver, not a running back, nobody. I'm thinking maybe they get Derrick Henry, maybe they get one of these running backs. No, they didn't do nothing. So they're the biggest loser out of this whole situation. And like everyone said, yeah, this is just free agency. You're not going to call them these teams paper champions or whatnot, but the teams, what they did was they got players to fit the needs. You know what I mean? They needed a wide receiver. They needed a running back. They needed a quarterback. They needed a defensive back. Most of them got offensive line from this, so you don't have to do so much in the draft. I think a lot of teams did win, and the teams that didn't, the teams that were going deep in the playoffs, the Bills made some moves. So I think, like I said, this is one of the biggest NFL free agencies of recent memory, and I think this will show come December and January. So with that note, we're going to come right back. We're going to get into some boxing. We're going to get into some NCAA basketball and NBA. So keep locked right here. It's Keep 1 Million Show on 90.7 FM KRDP.
Yes, sir. What you want to go into first? You want to go to basketball, boxing, or
Boxing.
boxing?
Yeah, because it's...
That probably because you're going to talk about the knockout and talk about Tyson. I was looking that up, man. And they put up the rules, man.
What's that?
Professional football. The problem child to cause face Mike Tyson.
No, I don't think that was true. I couldn't find it. I don't think none of that's true. All because it's on Netflix, so I didn't. It's supposed to be on Netflix.
Yeah, it's on Netflix,
Well, come on right now.
All right, despite claims from Dura, who is not involved in the fight, the match will feature headgear and 18-ounce gloves.
It will?
No, hold up. He refuted these assertions. Some dude, I can't pronounce his name. He stated, I was told there's absolutely no headgear involved. This is going to look like the typical boxing match. Okay?
We'll bring that up.
I will.
We're going to come on right now.
Okay, go ahead.
And we're back. Keep 1 Million Show, KRDP, 90.7 FM. Go to jazz.listen, the number 2, KRDP.com.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Listen to us on there or live on 90.7 FM.
Mm-hmm.
We're on YouTube, we're on Instagram. And I watched the fight in Ngannou versus Anthony Joshua, and this is what I thought Tyson Fury was going to do. He knocks him out in 2 rounds, and one of the probably nastiest right hands I've seen in a long time. I was excited because I was like, okay, you got to show him, what boxing is about. Like I said before, I think it was so disrespectful that someone from a totally different discipline can come into boxing and fight the top fighters on cue, just because of, and that shows you how bad boxing is, especially in the heavyweight division, where a UFC fighter can come in and fight the top, former champions, former undisputed champions, possibly future Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
Remember, the Mayweather-Conor McGregor fight was an exhibition.
Yeah, it was a real fight.
Oh, it was a real fight.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's why Mayweather was
Right,
supposed to be 50.
right,
he,
right.
he was 49-0, then he was 50.
Right.
That was a real sanctioned boxing
Yeah, that
match.
was a real fight. Yeah, you're absolutely right. And that's why everyone thought he was crazy for doing that.
Thought who was crazy? Conor?
Everyone thought Mayweather was crazy for
Oh
doing
no, he
that.
wasn't crazy. You know how much money that
Well,
thing
yeah,
made?
but to be a sanctioned fight, not an exhibition.
Did you really believe that Conor McGregor was going to beat Floyd in a
No, but
real boxing match?
if it went all the way, you never know. But the thing is, Tyson Fury, that's a real fight. That's a loss on his record. No, he actually won that fight one point. Yeah, I remember
He won.
because he did get knocked down. I thought he lost. I was like, oh my god, it can't be lost, and they gave it to him. I think
Well, Fury's
how
been down
boxing
before. I mean, I remember a fighter out of Philly, Cunningham, knocked him down years ago. I mean, he's
Deontay
been
Wilder,
down.
yeah.
You know,
But AJ, he was coming straight business
oh yeah.
and destroyed him. He did tell him to come back. He told him don't quit, keep going. But I think he needs to start from the bottom.
Oh yeah.
Start from the bottom and then bring yourself back up, and maybe years later you can fight for a title.
Yeah, he. I can tell by the way he went to block that right hand like a UFC fighter would block a right hand, not like a boxer would. And Joshua just clean right, hit him right on the button, clean. And the way you could just tell the way he got hit, his body bent over it with his. I was like, oh man, this dude's done. I mean, the ref. I don't even think the ref didn't even count. I think he just jumped right above it. He was just like, man, and that's what happens when a true championship boxer takes it seriously. It's like, I'm going to get you in the first 3 rounds. You're not going to play around with this. It's like it's going to be bang, and that's it. So I mean, and Anthony Joshua was right. Hey, don't quit, but you need to start at the bottom and work your way up.
Yeah, exactly. And it's cool, for these fights to be in Saudi Arabia, but they're gonna have to figure it out because it took literally like 6 hours for this fight to happen. Like they had so many fights and they all went, almost all of them went the whole 10, 12 rounds. It was like, okay, you watch a fight in Vegas or a card in Vegas, you're gonna watch 3-4 hours, but you're gonna get to the main event. This took all day. And I was like, oh my, like y'all, they have to fix it. If you want to keep these fights in Saudi Arabia, I get it, the money, and everybody's making money over there. But for the fans, y'all gotta speed it up. Something's got to happen where you got less fights or less, they didn't do the concert aspect like they did last time, so. They knew that wasn't working, but they got to figure something out.
Hey man, they need to talk to Don King because you can say whatever you want about Don King. He put on incredible undercards. Like his main event was the main event, but his undercards would be like matter of fact, I give you an example. Years ago at RFK Stadium in Washington, on a Tyson undercard, Bernard Hopkins and Roy Jones Jr. for the not the undisputed, but for the IBF middleweight title. I mean that's before Bernard Hopkins really wasn't a known name at the time. Roy was known, but he wasn't right. that yet. That was on a Mike Tyson undercard. I mean, Don King knew how to put the undercards together and understood the science of it. A lot nowadays, it's just like, oh, we just gonna slap this thing together. And like you said, I don't mind fights going the distance, but sometimes some of this stuff takes too long.
Yeah,
figure it out.
Exactly. And but it was an overall good fight. And AJ, he's looking for that winner of the Usyk Fury fight, and we've been talking about AJ against Fury for a couple years now. Hasn't happened. So hopefully it happens either the end of this year or next year if Fury beats Usyk. Yeah. And that's going to be in Saudi Arabia. The Fury Usyk, which is next, I think in May.
Oh yeah, so
I think
they
it's
would
May
be able to-
18th.
If he beats Usyk, they'll be able to do it like in like November, December,
Right.
something like that.
Right.
I say do it in Britain. They both British fighters doing it.
Yeah.
Doing it in London.
Yeah, exactly. So, and what just popped out of nowhere, Tyson versus Jake Paul, July 20th on Netflix. I thought it was a fake post.
Yeah.
I didn't think that was real. And it is. I went on Tyson's, page, and he said he signed the contract. I guess they was kind of egging him on to sign the contract. They've been talking about it for a couple of years now, since the other brother fought, Mayweather.
Yeah.
They was like, "Oh, I want to fight Tyson," and it's like, how? Doesn't make any sense.
It reminds me of the song from Fresh Prince. I think I could be Mike Tyson. Yeah, there was some rumors about the stipulations of the fight, and this esteemed combat sports journalist Ariel Helwani addressed the speculation on the involvement of headgear, and he stated that he said initially anticipated as an exhibition bout, there is an effort to sanction the match as a professional contest under the oversight of the Texas Boxing Commission. Helwani shed light on the ongoing negotiations, indicating that the final decision on whether the bout will be classified as pro or exhibition rests with the commission. Details such as weight class and number of rounds are still being finalized. Now, this article came out 3 days ago.
Okay.
So, they talked about, so they said despite claims from Derek Chisora, who is not involved in the fight, that the match would feature headgear and 18-ounce gloves, Helwani refuted these assertions. He stated, "I was told there's absolutely no headgear involved. This is going to look like your typical boxing match." Helwani emphasized that the event could be resemble a standard professional heavyweight bout rather than an exhibition akin to Tyson's previous fight against Roy Jones Jr. in November 2020. So they're saying it's going to be a straight up real fight.
Right.
And I don't know if anybody saw Mike Tyson's training montage. I mean, this guy, the guy hitting them pads hard, and he still got the movements. And everybody knows, or should know, that the last thing to go from a fighter is their power. So I'm telling you, the Paul boy, he better be careful.
Right. It's going to be July 20th at AT&T Stadium in Texas, in Jerry's World.
Yeah.
Cowboy Stadium. So that's going to be a massive crowd.
Yeah.
At least.
And
70 to 80,000.
just let people know what I was reading from. It's called The Sportster, and it was 2 days ago that this article came out. So my apologies, I said free. It was 2 days ago.
So very recently, these changes and the thing is, a lot of times, especially not just in this industry, but most, you got to double and triple check the information coming in, because there's a lot of stuff people say things. I mean, come on, 18-ounce gloves, those are like pillows. Come on, what are you doing here? That means no one's gonna even feel anything.
Yeah.
I mean, well, that's supposed to. So that's someone who was actually a huge Jake Paul fan saying, "Oh no, it's not gonna be like it's, like that." So,
so everybody, just keep your eyes open. Now, I'm gonna keep pulling up articles as well, because I do believe it's gonna be. It's not gonna be 18 ounces. It'll probably be 12 or 14, something like that.
Right. And
it's not going to be 8 ounces. It's not going to be 8 ounces.
It seemed like it's going to keep on being fluid until the fight. So it's going to be a lot of changes. A lot of changes. And I think really it's going to be changes in Jake Paul's favor.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be changes in Jake Paul's favor. Come on, it's Mike Tyson. So, yeah. And yes, the money's the money, but still, that's always been a question. Always been not necessarily a joke, but something online like, how much money would you take to get knocked out by Mike Tyson? How many millions of dollars would you take? And this is that. that question is going to be answered. I mean, I think it was like $20 million a piece they're going to make.
Hey, I always have a question. So you're talking about fighting, like how much money would you take to get pushed down by a female basketball player in that LSU South Carolina game? Like how she pushed Florida State.
Right.
She pushed it down. That was crazy.
Yeah, we got a few minutes. Let's get into that real quick before we go. South Carolina undefeated season.
Yeah, undefeated season. Second time they did it. I think second time in a row. Because last year they were undefeated. They lost to Iowa in the Final Four. I believe they lost in the Final Four. So this is very, very interesting because that was for the SEC championship.
Yes.
So they University of South Carolina won. LSU is going to be, I believe it, I believe LSU is going to be a number 1 seed. South Carolina, Iowa, and possibly USC is going to be a number 1 seed. So this is going to be really very interesting. Somebody asked me the other day, they said, "You going to fill out a men's bracket?" I said, "No, but I'm going to fill out a women's bracket." And like I told them, like I said in the billboard, can you name me a male basketball player? Because I can name 6 female players. I mean, I got Juju Watkins, Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, Deja Kelly, Hannah Hidalgo, and Paige Beckers. I mean, I had to write them down real quick, but those are the ones I came up with my head when I was working on the billboard. I was like, I can't name a male player. But
I can name one is Andrew Baycott out of North Carolina.
Okay.
And the only reason I can, because he's been there for almost 6 years. He's been there for so long. I forgot that he was still in there. I thought he went to the league, and he's like, "Wow, he's still there."
Yeah. I remember I used to name the dude from Duke, but only reason I knew his name because he got ran over by a player that stormed the court. So you're just like, wow. I mean, and Paige Beckers, like I thought she was in the WNBA, but I had to remember she got hurt a couple seasons ago. And to tell you, Paige Beckers if she wouldn't have got hurt, she might have got that scoring title. Caitlin broke Pete Maravich's record about a week or so ago. So, and people get mad at me when I say Pistol Pete didn't have a 3-point line. But to me, that matters. Because if Pistol Pete would have had that, he put it out of reach. Now, I'm still giving her flowers, though, because that's a feat to break that record. And that record would never be broken by a male player. It's only going to be broken by a woman's player because they play all 4 years. So, I mean, she's the truth. She's the truth, man. She's going to be the number 1 pick. She's going to be the face of color of the WNBA. Her and Angel Reese. It's very compelling. Very compelling.
Yeah. Just one thing on the men's side. Before we go, North Carolina beat Duke.
Okay.
To win the ACC title.
Okay.
Your top 4 is probably, if I'm not mistaken, North Carolina, Houston.
Okay.
Arizona, and
U of A?
Yes, U of A, and I don't know the 4th team. I think UConn. UConn's the number 1 team. Yeah, okay. So that's probably gonna be your not Final Four, but your top 4 teams in the tournament.
I wouldn't mind seeing University of Houston winning the whole thing. I wouldn't mind seeing that.
Yeah, they're like the best defensive team in the NCAA basketball right now. So, we're gonna go to the second hour.
All right.
Please keep it locked right here, 90.7 FM, KRDP. Keep 1 Million Show. I'm Dwayne.
Sean P.
Please go to jazz.listen, the number 2, KRDP.com.
I had to get that basketball, but they didn't.
Yo, yeah. We was talking boxing so much.
I need to read the article on ESPN talking about they saying why Canelo won't fight Benavidez.
Really?
It's on ESPN. It's on the app. I gotta read it.
Hey, Hollywood Brown just went to the Chiefs.
Oh, that's what they picked up. They were saying
it
that
just happened like right now.
They said that the Chiefs was going because they re-signed That defensive
Line
line
year
dude.
deal, $11 million.
And then they were saying that the Chiefs should go after T. Higgins, but I guess they
Yeah,
did.
Hollywood Brown, yeah, because he wanted to be traded.
Who?
T. Higgins, yeah.
Boots. And now a speech.
I just want to say that friendship is about heart and brain. Who's with me?
Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
And my brain is saying, when it's time to go home, somebody call me a ride.
Love that guy.
Me too.
Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
I'm Walt Richardson. Join me every Saturday at 6 p.m. for My World of Music, a peaceful place in quantum space. I feature a mix of reggae, African, and Afro-Caribbean, folk, and other styles of world music. Remember, My World of Music every Saturday at 6 p.m. on KRDP 90.7 FM.
Broadcasting from the Phoenix Center for the Arts, you're tuned to KRDP Jazz and Indie, where the Valley comes to talk, sing, connect. KRDP Apache Junction, Goldfield Ghost Town, Phoenix, 90.7 FM in the East Valley, and online at KRDP.com, a service of Desert
Views
Soul
and opinions
Media.
expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of Desert Soul Media and its board of directors. Thank you for listening.
All right, y'all. NFL free agency is strictly bananas. Saquon Barkley to the Philadelphia Eagles. Derrick Henry to the Baltimore Ravens. Kirk Cousins to the Atlanta Falcons. I really need Kirk Cousins' agent's number. That dude be getting that brother some money. Anthony Joshua.